Hey y'all, welcome back to Kimo's Kitchen. Knife skills, carrots. Let's get into it. So, in the previous video, we talked about how to hold a knife correctly and how to work a knife correctly. This video, I just want to talk about how to cut up a carrot in a couple of different ways. So, let's get into it. This will be pretty quick. So, when I get carrots, I try and get, fresh carrots. I don't try and get those pre-shaved frozen carrots. I like the fresh carrots. Now, if you notice, I've shaved off the carrot with my white peeler. Very, very sharp, be careful. And it's only because even if you wash the carrot, this is just much nicer and cleaner. I know a lot of people say that a lot of nutrients are in the skin. Yeah, maybe, but you've got a ton here. So you want your food to look good. You want your food to taste good. You don't want it to look, I don't know. I like it cleaner this way. Even when I'm making stock, believe it or not, I actually shave the carrots before I put the carrots in the stock. Why? Do you really want that dirtiness of that skin? Remember, carrots grow sort of underground. Do you really want that dirtiness and crap to get into your clean, beautiful, pure stock? No, right? So shave it off. You're not losing much. All right. So if you go to a traditional cooking school or just take traditional cooking classes, they're going to teach you different cuts of everything. The julienne and the, 1/4 inch cube and blah, 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 blah. That's all well and good. I don't care. What I really want to focus on is cutting this safely and getting to what I need to without a whole lot of drama. So let's see if I can impart some of that with you guys now. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, so shaved it off, right? First thing we're gonna do, again, nails down, knuckles forward, cut off the ends, right? And like I said, I like to work with 6 inches at a time. So this is long, it's longer than actually it's 8 inches. So, all right, let's go 4 inches. So we're gonna cut it in half just so that I can, work with this safely. Now, as you can see, this thing rolls around. That's very dangerous. Especially when as you're still trying to learn how to hold a knife correctly and all of this is not good, okay? So the way to basically get this to stabilize, it's a circle, circles roll, is to cut off a piece on there's no sides here, but just to cut off a piece so that they can sit on that and doesn't move. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. In fact, I'm gonna cut this even smaller, right? So I'm gonna hold it as best as I can, nails down, knuckles forward as best as I can. I'm gonna cut down one side, that way, boom. It's not rolling. Now it's safe, and I get to eat this. Yum. Okay, so if you like half moons, we can do half moons. If you want to do cubes, well, great. You kind of already started the process on one side. So let's continue. So put it on the side, cut another piece down, right? Another side. Now it's pretty stable on both sides, right? Cut it down to squares. Get it as even as you can, right? See that? Beautiful, right? Rectangular. Okay, so now I want to cut, minced cubes or what have you. So we're going to go down the middle, and yeah, I'm doing this. I really should be doing this, so I'm doing that, okay? So now I want to make sure it's even, okay? So I'm going to cut right in the middle of this guy, and then right in the middle of this guy. Okay, now I've got these pretty even, sort of, kind of, almost. I'm not a professional, but it's pretty close, right? And then we're going to cut these in cubes. So what you can do in this case, because you don't really want to go through this one by one, you can. I've always been taught by Chef Brian P. You can go 4 deep. 4 deep's good. This is not that big. I can do 4 deep. I would prefer 2 deep, right? It gives me a little bit more control. So nails down, knuckles forward, thumb in the back, okay? And we're cutting. and we're moving my hand backwards. As I get towards the end, my thumb is going to be really critical to make sure he's behind my fingers. And he's kind of behind my fingers. And there we go. Right? Not bad. I could do better. You see that, right? Not bad. I mean, this one's a little big. All right. We're not experts here. It's okay. I'm just trying to be safe. Okay? Nails down, knuckles forward. Your thumb in the back. Voila. Better this time around. See that? That's good. So that's how you do it. So if you have something circular, like my little carrot here, and you want to cut these little cubes, because guess what? These are going to go in soups. They're fantastic for soups, right? You make a chicken noodle soup with some carrots in it, maybe a little bit of celery, maybe some onions. These are fantastic. This is actually quite nice. All right, so let's do this again. You see this? Circular, it's rolling around. Nails down, knuckles forward. Let's cut a piece off the edge here. That way it's stable. Cut another. All right, keep rolling it on the side. Basically create a rectangular piece that we can work with. And this is kind of rectangular, but it's a little bit oddly shaped because this was towards the front of the carrot where the root was. It's towards the end. Anyway, so it's a little bit not quite as even, so we could sort of try and get it a little bit more even. Like so. If you really want to have time and want to play with this, now it's a little bit more even, right? Okay, so we're going to take that guy. Just put him on this side. Let's cut him down right down the middle. Nails down, knuckles forward, thumb in the back. Cut right through in the middle, okay? These cuts are going to be a little bit smaller. And it's just, unfortunately, by nature of... But they're somewhat even. No, they're not really even. That's okay. And it's just by nature, I think, of the size and the shape of it. So you can play with it, practice with it if you really want to get these perfect. But we're cooking at home. Nothing has to be that perfect, okay? We're not working for Chef Keller. We're not working for, you know, Chef Anthony. May he rest in peace. These are a little bit better. There you go. And just keep practicing, right? So the biggest thing I want to impart is you want to keep your food stable on the table. You keep your food stable, then you keep your hands and yourself very, very safe. You hold the knife correctly, then you're very safe on the table. You position your hand correctly with your thumb in the back, nails down, knuckles forward, just remember that, and the blade right up against your knuckles, and you use that to guide yourself and to guide the knife through, guide the blade through. You're going to be pretty safe. Keep your thumb in the back. Nails down, knuckles forward, thumb in the back. Nails down, knuckles forward, thumb in the back. Blade right up against this, and you shouldn't have any problem. It is going to take some time to get used to how this callus keeps forming. You know what? If it looks a little ugly and someone says, "What'd you do to your hand?" I practice professional knife skills in the kitchen. Okay? This is the mark of achievement. This is a mark of learning something new and doing it correctly. Okay? So please do not do this. Do not do this. Hold it correctly so that the knife is balanced in your hand and you've got full control over the knife. The other thing is, this blade has to be super sharp. If this blade is not sharp, you're going to have a much harder time cutting through your food. You're going to use more pressure to cut through your food. And the risk of the blade slipping because of the pressure you're adding onto the blade to cut through the food increases dramatically. And when a knife slips, it's bad juju, man. You're at a pretty high risk of cutting yourself. So keep the blade very, very sharp. I will do a quick episode on sharpening knives correctly. So be on the lookout for that one. I might just do that one tomorrow. We'll see. So it's coming, and yeah, go for it, man. So with this guy here, I just want to do half moons. So I'm gonna cut him down the middle really quickly before we hang up here. I'm gonna cut him down so that, you know, take a side off so that he's again stable. And I'm just gonna do some half moons. And you know what? There we go. Yum. Okay, so go to town, play with it, enjoy yourself. Practice, practice, practice. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. And I'll see you for, I don't know, the next one, whatever that may be. Cheers.